Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the final Token Metrics Thursday live stream of the year. Our show today is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. Stay tuned for not only great research, but some promotional information about that site. If you like Bill and you like Mehdi and you like Michael, my co-hosts, then like and subscribe to this channel. My two colleagues, I can say this. There are no two people, maybe with the exception of, say, like Forrest and Ian, but there's no two people for that sort of conversational aspect of what's really undervalued in the market. Gentlemen, welcome to the stream and Happy New Year.
Hey, Bill. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Bill.
All right. So, all right. Remember, now let's kick into the market update because the market update actually has a few slides on it. All right. I want to welcome some people to the stream first. Forgot about that. Striker Burns, Farmer Sam, seen you before. What's up? Drex. Okay. Tyson, Max, Annie from Nashville. Nashville in the house. Crypt Turkey. Patterson, how you doing? Eric, Trevor, I have audio. Excellent. All right, Bubba, a very Texas type of name. All right, so let's kick in to the market update. Now, the market update is going to be the 2022 plan. All right, the 2022 plan starts out with Token Metrics Holiday Cheer. So I'm going to give you some promo information, and then later on in the market update, I am going to show you, as in show you, why you should subscribe. And Mehdi and Mike will drive the point home subtly throughout our conversation. All right, Los Angeles, London, Indianapolis, Bulgaria, North Korea, welcome. Let's talk about the 12 days of Token Metrics Cheer. 25% off any annual or monthly Token Metrics plan, even our top-end VIP plan. This is also good for any upgrades as well for existing customers. 25% off. Okay, the coupon is TM Holidays with an S at the end. All caps, no spaces. Now, there's a link in the description below, and I also put it on my Twitter, crypto_noble. So any way you want to get to it, get to that link because it's good until the 2nd. Now, a second item is, particularly if you like the show, Token Metrics apparel is now available. All right. There's some left over from the Christmas rush. That web address is shop.tokenmetrics.com. Hello from Pakistan. All right. Folks, get that merch. It's in the link below, and that is also on my Twitter. TM Holidays for 25% off. So like, subscribe, get the discount, shop. We love y'all. We want to support you and help us eat. Help us out for the Happy New Year. Now, Token Metrics Moonshot contest winner. We ran something via our Twitter where we put out something looking for the best 7-day ROI. And it looks like look black, talk white .1, Twitter handle LPTW tweets, okay, is the winner. So if you're out there, you are the winner. He or she won with the submission of ticker symbol LIT. which had a 230% ROI during the 7 days during the holiday that we ran the contest. Congratulations on winning $1,000 in USDC and a free Token Metrics premium plan. Now, if you are out there, please DM Token Metrics on Twitter to collect your prize. All right. So they've got the original tweets from the submissions. So no phony baloney out there. All right. So this person, please DM the Token Metrics Inc. Twitter handle. All right. Now, let's just take a look at this person's trade. They caught a give up trade with tax loss selling right before Christmas at below 270, and the ensuing relief rally took it up to 3.5. So well done on that trade. Now, let's review something that we did yesterday about the cycle, because everyone is like the cycle, diminishing returns, extended cycle. I know there's a lot of smart people on YouTube doing stuff like this. I'm taking a GAN approach. So rather than look at just price, I want to look at time. And this is the crux, okay, of the 2022 plan. Now, I have a good idea about this. Okay, Mr. Singh out there, he says, I bet you can't pronounce my name. And sir, you are correct. All right, but we love you anyway. All right. So for Bitcoin, here is the synopsis of what I think about the cycle. For the details, go back to yesterday's stream and look for the picture of William Gann and you'll be able to see the full explanation. But here's the short and sweet version. The cycle for Bitcoin in terms of time ended in October. Now, that doesn't mean that the market automatically goes down. What it means is that based on history, Bitcoin goes through like a dormant period for 12 months. I think that dormant period is going to be hugging the 21-month moving average, which probably creates a range in Bitcoin between 33K and 53K, all right, until say, I don't know, August, July, something like that, right? You want to have that sell in May and go away. And then October of 2022 is when you want to start getting long Bitcoin for like the move to 100K or 250K, et cetera, right? That move might last out into 2025. So if Bitcoin is not the trade, that can give alts room. And that's what's been happening over the last couple days. So Bitcoin hibernation, not winter, because that implies total destruction. I do think there's going to be a sell in May and go away, but it's really more of a hibernation. So Bitcoin hibernation is bullish alts. Now, which alts are we talking about? I think it's layer 0 and layer 1s, specifically Ethereum competitors. Now, again, like crypto winter, everyone use ETH killers. I don't know that you're going to kill ETH, but I do think based on the Gann cycle work that ETH competitors have got a lot more upside than anyone thinks. This includes large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Now, let's look at the ETH time cycles. Okay, starting back with the first bullish candle in October 2015, there's only been 2 44-month cycles. That's how Gann works. So I drew the 44-month cycle. It looks like, again, the ETH cycle ended around October 2021. Now, the 21-month moving average is very far below the market, down at 1794. Now, with the way ETH has done its hibernation period in the past, you normally have to wait, I don't know, something like, 9 to 12 months, all right, before you get the next bottom. So my guess is, one, if the market goes down in April or May, ETH probably has more downside than Bitcoin. So ETH is where the risk is, but that's going to create opportunity. But so don't go anywhere. I'm going to explain. So ETH has probably got more downside risk short term, but starting in August, a new rally can begin. And I think there could be a flippening either starting or happening in March of 2024. So a lot of people thought the flippening was going to happen right now. I think flippening happens, say, 2-something years from now. But the bottom for ETH is in August. Now, you're probably wondering, hey, Bill, 9 months in crypto time might as well be 9 years. I got it. So this is what we're going to do about it. We're going to map out what I think is going to happen throughout this year. Let's start with January because that's what we care about most, right? First Bitcoin futures ETF was a dud, according to a very smart person in the legacy world. The ProShares ETF trading 28% below its high and has performed worse than spot Bitcoin. Well, in some ways, there are key takeaways. First of all, no duh, people would prefer spot Bitcoin to, legacy Bitcoin, obviously. But if you were a legacy stock investor, you can say, wow, I want diversification for Bitcoin. It's down 30% versus its high. It's stable and it's underperformed the crypto that it theoretically follows. So it's actually a great time to get diversified, which is why I think Bitcoin is probably going to go from where it is now to 53K right at the start of the year. So you're probably coming right out of the gate, maybe with one final dip, but people are coming out of the gate to buy this Bitcoin ETF. And then maybe that's kind of all she wrote for Bitcoin upside. Yes, I know Hex is out there. I did Hex yesterday. Tune in for that video or tune in tomorrow for more on Hex. So here's the Bitcoin daily chart, right? 49K is the 21-day moving average. So it's got to get above that before you can get too excited. And 52K is the 38% retracement of the recent down move. So if Bitcoin's not going to do much, 52K may be the top of the range. Now, let's switch, review, and talk about what's going to work. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are range bound at best, susceptible to a correction in the spring at worst. So what trade do you do? Are there trades where you can buy between now and April, right? Get a bunch of upside and then buy the dip in the summer after the May correction and catch the real moonshot that happens in, say, October or August? First one's Cosmos, right? Cosmos broke out above the 21-day moving average late in December. Mehdi thinks it's cheap. We'll talk about that more. Or Mehdi thinks it's got a lot of good functionality. Let me say that, not investment advice. All right. Cosmos tried to dip near its 21-day moving average at 25 twice in the last 2 days. The recent high in Cosmos is 44. And if the type of FOMO we saw in Polkadot earlier in this year makes its way into Cosmos, then Cosmos has room on the upside, right? In other words, if the trade is not Bitcoin and it's not ETH, what is it? Well, we start with Cosmos and that universe. Now, Polkadot is another obvious layer 0 play. The chart is okay. Polkadot's holding 26, but I don't know if the dot to 100 trade is a first quarter phenomenon. What may be better is small cap coins, not investment advice, do your own research, is smaller cap coins inside the dot universe, right? In other words, the ecosystem may not work in 2021. And Mehdi kind of knows this from equities, right? Like, you from year to year, you sell the top performers and you reallocate money to the stuff that didn't work. Gabriel, we appreciate the love. Thank you. Right? So you love the unloved, especially if it has a narrative. And the narrative is kind of what this stream is about. Now, Moon River, something that we like, okay, is something inside the Polkadot Kusama universe, right? And Moon River is, beat up and a lot cheaper than it obviously was when it was at 400. So again, where do you want to do your investing? ETH competitors, and layer zero where you can find value. All right. Let's take a look at some of the Polkadot universe coins. This comes from, drumroll, tokenmetrics.com, from the ratings page. And I believe you can see this even with the lowest end plans. You can't get details about the coins, but I believe you can see the daily, weekly, and monthly rankings. So for the first quarter, I'm looking at the daily. So we have Cyato, off shift, right? Things are starting to turn bullish inside the Polkadot ecosystem. That first coin has a market cap rank of 514. Small cap may come back. Now, that doesn't mean blow yourself up. I'm serious. Follow Token Metrics rankings and do your own research. But the rankings will let you know what coins are building up positive momentum. As those grades start to move from, say, 50 above 75 and then 80, if there's a momentum trade in the first quarter and a lot of people allocate money to this sector, some of this stuff could do okay. Here's Cyato, if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, it hit the 62% retracement of its October FOMO rally from 0 to 9 cents. Okay, it hit the 62% level and it's popped up nicely. Okay, and you get these candles where it goes up and then people take profits. And it goes up and people take profits. And without going through the long story, right, the net is you want to be able to buy dips. And if things give you the opportunity to buy dips, small or big, those are the opportunities to get in. So on Kraken, okay, the daily index, which has been money all year, Polygon, Cosmos popping in there. Yes. Okay, Aragon, been mooning for weeks. Sushi mooning, GNO right here. A big burst above the 21-day moving average, just like in October. Year-end profit taking, once that ends, if this holds, 640 is possible. Matic, really interesting that, Matic, you can dump a bunch of money into it, pay one gas, you can pay one gas fee to dump a bunch of money in Matic and then use that to buy things like NFTs. It's interesting, right? You pay one gas charge to move money onto the Matic chain. And then, as long as whatever you're using accepts Matic, you can just continue to buy away, potentially, all right, without paying additional gas. Not investment advice on NFTs, and make sure you're on the right NFT page. But I've actually experienced Matic lately, and I get it, right? You're sending ETH value somewhere where you can use that value over and over again until you run out of money, but you're not paying gas on additional transactions once you move the money into Matic. Correct me if I'm wrong out there in the comments. Now, Rune, Thorchain, if there's a dip in Luna, or if there is any such thing as somebody winning in DeFi other than Aave, Sushi, and Luna, it could be Rune. There's a lot of support down here at 7 cents. Okay, I'm sorry, near $7. And, there could be some room to go up here. Cardano, right? Is Cardano dead? Absolutely not. If there's downside risk in ETH, there's upside risk or upside opportunity in Cardano, not investment advice. Solana. One of the first jobs I had in the market was with this guy in Chicago. And if you think I got a New Jersey accent, man, this guy had the equivalent Chicago accent, believe me. And he used to tell me, and I can't even imitate it, but he used to tell me in equities that his favorite formation was the broken head and shoulders top. So head and shoulders top is bearish, but when it breaks and it comes back above, say in Solana, 185, that's good for Solana. So yesterday I was like, Solana, maybe it's over. No. If there's ETH downside, or if ETH should have done a Santa rally. And we got a couple days left, but ETH should be at 5K right now. Seriously. And it's not. So that could mean that come next year, Solana could wake up. AVAX, classic, stop everyone out below the 21-day moving average. Saw it 99 last night. I'm like, oh my God, whatever. Now, yes, there can be profit taking, and yes, this can go down like anything else. But this thing climbs back above 104 once the tax loss selling and profit taking is over. I just find it hard to believe that this is not going to smoke to the upside. Sol sitting on top of its 21-day moving average, bird on a wire, getting ready to fly. Now, folks, look, I did a stream with Ian, and he was like, and I was like promoting our book. And he's like, and I started off by saying, you know what? I don't mean to shill, but I want to give you the 411 in our book. And Ian just stopped me because he's like real calm, right? He's like, you know what? He said, education is not shilling. So when I think about tokenmetrics.com headed into 2022, how do you get educated as to what the layer one platforms are that can compete with ETH? How do you get there? Okay. Interoperability, the word of 2022, according to James, and he's right. Okay. So Near, VLX, Dusk, using our rating system to see what's doing well and what's next. I was talking about Dusk last 3 or 4 market updates, smoking to the upside, rose. Michael was on that from the beginning. Okay, IOTA is in there. Okay, continuing, right? So when you do this, you don't just get the top ones. It goes on and on and on by ranking. So anything that's above 80 is good, and anything that's approaching 80 may start taking off. Avalanche, Stake up 30% today. Zilliqa, Sol, Stacks, right? This is just layer ones, right? I'm just giving you the list. Now, this is the stuff in the 50s. Stuff that may come back. Algorand had a good chart yesterday. Polkadot, Solana in there, right? So, I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at token metrics rankings, right? If something's got a ranking of 62, you can hold off. Or if you suspect it might go up, you might say, well, it's got a ranking of 62. Maybe it's got a shot at moving to 80, and I can get in now. Now, you don't want to be doing that when the market turns over. But I'm real interested in what layer ones and layer zeros, Atom, Cosmos, etc., in that ecosystem are looking green on a daily and weekly basis. What's turning, right? So it's a way of giving you the education so you can find out what's hot now and what may be hot next. Because I know Dusk had a rating above 80 for a while before it moved. That's another trip. That's another tip, right? So if you go to say KuCoin, so you can filter this stuff out by exchange. Like, okay, Bill, that's great. There's all these layer ones, but there's gas fees. Well, wait a minute. You can say, hey, give me the smart contract platforms on a centralized exchange like KuCoin. Look at what's at the top, Near. Okay, Near is undervalued and can just smoke to the upside. Non-investment advice. Rose, Phantom, which I've been all over. AVAX, VLX, Sol. I mean, people, you can get these things on centralized exchanges. Look at Dusk, right? I mean, our AI was on Dusk at 50 cents. It's now at $1.10. Stake. Our AI is on this, pops above the 21-day moving average. Whoop! Now it's 17. $3 in one day. Oasis headed for resistance at 43 with a major green candle, right? So yeah, don't buy resistance, but if it breaks through and then makes a return move, upside's 87. All right, folks, TM holidays. Research will pay off. What competes with Ethereum and what helps connect the world of crypto? That, I believe, is the mega trade until a corrective phase in the spring and summer. Then in the fall or late summer, okay, early fall, that's when you want to come out swinging with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So here's 2022. First week, Bitcoin, okay? Then out until probably March, it's the layer 1, layer 0. Then March to May, sell in May and go away, right? Sell in April and go away. You know, that's when you got to like watch out, raise cash, because even if the market goes up, you definitely want to have stable coins ready for the August to October period so you can get on that Bitcoin or Ethereum move that we hope happens. So not investment advice, not a crystal ball, all right? But that is the market update. All right. Now, we're going to go to a much more chill conversation. Me, Mehdi, and Michael are going to do kind of like we're hanging out in a pub, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we were doing this year that worked and some of the things that you think are next. So maybe we'll start with Mehdi and let him just freeform it. Mehdi, Happy New Year. Go, man.
Thank you, Bill. Amazing market update. Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of chat of Near on the comment section over here. It seems like a lot of people like Near, and I'm amongst you guys. I also like Near. I think it's one of those coins which will outperform. So when I say outperform, that doesn't mean it will stay positive. Let's say when the market goes down, it could be one of those coins that will go down in a much less steep manner. If the market goes up, it will outperform the market by going higher than what the market is doing. So I really like Near, and there are a few technical reasons I'm just going to share with you guys. One is that it has a sharded architecture. The sharded architecture and proof of stake is something which Ethereum is also working on, and Near has already implemented that. So it is basically like Ethereum 2.0, but 1 year or 2 year before that. So, and without any risk, right? So you have that kind of architecture 1 year in present. So the sharded architecture allows for, in my opinion, infinite scalability. So more validators you have, the amount of transaction it can handle increases. I was reading Twitter. Somebody said that it has a Galaxy GigaChat brain team. I agree with that. I think the the team is very smart, so that's one of the reasons why I like them as well. Uh, they're also very future oriented, so they have EVM compatibility through Aurora, but they are also Rust and WASM compatible. So that means, let's say, if in the future, in 3 years ahead, 4 years ahead, a lot of programmers who don't know EVM, for example, knows basic Java, Python, they can start coding up in Near's platform, and the developer experience is amazing. So I spoke with one of my friends in the VC, and he's like, "Yeah, we like Near because of this reason, as well." Apart from that, you have EVM compatibility with Aurora, which has a couple of second block time. I've interacted with them. Me and Michael, we were also fortunate enough to get airdrops. And if you do yield farming, it's a very pleasant experience in terms of bridging and transferring. Another thing is there's a project that is building up on Near. It's called Octopus Network, and they're trying to bring some functionality as Polkadot. So they're trying to bring parachains to uh, Near. So that gets me excited. If they execute that, you basically have a two-in-one combination. You have Ethereum as well as Polkadot and Near, and on top of that, to sum everything up. One experience I had with Solana, the reason why Solana grew rapidly is because VCs are involved and you have the ecosystem funding. So Near already has a $800 million ecosystem fund,
Wow.
which they'll be deploying. So at the moment, the TVL isn't that much. Projects are growing 15 to 20% weekly, but once that war chest starts deploying heavily, you'll see fireworks. So that's why I'm very excited for Near in 2022. I think if there is one coin that I need to like, I don't have to worry about timing is Near. With Polkadot, you can have some concerns regarding timing the market, but I think Near, even at this price, is not that bad. Before we jump onto another coin, I have one tweet for you guys that I want you to basically promote. So I'm trying to get the Near team, like I'm trying to get the founder Alex on our podcast basically. So let me kind of share this tweet. So these are like few projects that I really like, and we can discuss this over here as well. One is Terra, the other one is Polkadot, and the third one, which I just mentioned, is Near. And I'm trying to get all of the founders on our 100x show. So I want you guys to help me get them on board, since these gentlemen are very busy because they're trying to develop the next generation of web 3.0. They're very busy, they don't have time. So I want you guys to push this tweet out and code these founders, all of these three, if you want all of these three to come to 100x show, or maybe one of them which you really admire and want to see on 100x show. So yeah, really like it, retweet it, quote them, and also tag them so they know that 100 Token Metrics is interested in getting them on the 100x show. And once they get on the 100x show, I can ask all the questions you guys have for them.
Is you tell them Michael and Mehdi, right? All right. Those guys can do the work of entire analyst teams, right? In other words, who are the smartest people in crypto? Now, we like it that we don't come out and say, oh, I'm the smartest person in crypto. That shows humility, right? And a class act. So these two gentlemen are what I would call class acts. So when you do that retweet, you say, hey, you can go talk to XYZ crypto research firm where they have 20 people who don't tell you anything. Seriously. Some of our competitors, not to knock them, but they've got huge staffs, and I read their 27-page reports, and I don't get as much out of that as I do listening to Mehdi for 27 minutes. Tell them about it. Tell them about it. Not just tell them what Token Metrics is about, how we can have 3 and 4 and 5 men do the work of 20, right? But tell them, talk to this guy, because you know who's next in crypto? You know who's the next big players for 2022 to 2024? Well, the two guys you're looking at, trust me, they're going to wind up in the Crypto Hall of Fame, right? And I'm not blowing smoke. So, Mehdi, what else you got? Do you want to go to Michael and Rose, or do you want to keep, what else, how do you guys want to do it?
I think one thing we should mention about Near is the fact that ecosystem is actually flourishing in itself right now. Smart contract network Aurora is live, and developers on Ethereum that have existing projects can start deploying on Aurora. And on top of this, they have a pretty decent DEX, Tri Solaris, that's live and that's been successful. So the ecosystem, as Mehdi is mentioning, is ready to go on Near. So that's why we're pretty bullish on it going into 2022.
Yeah, I mean, imagine buying ETH at $14. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to answer some of the questions our audience has for us. So
sure, go ahead.
One of the question is thoughts on locked dot from crowd loans decreasing the dot's circulating supply, affecting the price action. That has not yet occurred. So I'm just gonna answer Jess Brown's question. See, the way I kind of look at Polkadot is that your concerns are right. It's, for me personally, when you read the white paper, what they're trying to achieve is something which is very complicated. It is very complex, and in my books, they are actually the one who are kind of pushing the frontier in terms of innovation. Other chains kind of copy paste each other, but this project is trying to push it forward. So that has some risk. One risk is execution. Of course, there is execution risk, but my bet was that Gavin Wood, and who is the one who created the EVM, which is now industry industry standard, and which is one of the reasons why people love Ethereum. He was the one who invented that. And then you have parity in Web 3.0 technology, which basically has been Web 3.0 has been there since last 20 years, and they are kind of drumming the role, saying that okay, you know what, internet is centralized, and let's try to change that. So when you combine those two forces together, you have a very interesting combination. You have a very strong combination, strong vision, and amazing team. So that was my bet. Now, issue is regarding market timing. I am frustrated as well. It's a pain trade for me as well. But we have to be cognizant that some of the VCs involved in Polkadot, they were involved in less than $1. So right now for them, it has already done 100x, 1000x. They're cashing out, but some of the VCs are still holding. One of the VCs, I like. I'm not going to name them. They say, okay, we have done 100x, but we still believe in the vision of Polkadot. So my verdict will be that it's an amazing project. Just be patient. Its moment will come. Market works in narrative. Player zero and interoperability is not as of now a very sexy narrative. Maybe 6 months down the line it will become a sexy narrative. At the moment the sexy narrative is Ethereum killer, but market tends to forget that what about a chain that connects all these Ethereum killers. So that's how I'm thinking. So be patient, maybe 1 year, maybe 6 months, but its time will come.
All right. Thank you, Mehdi. So Silent Sandal saying, concerning near price, do you believe it's a good entry price? Well, I don't think you want to be buying anything up 10 or 15%. Wait and see what dip you can get. If it breaks 14 and comes back, okay, there are always going to be dips in the first quarter, right? So, Forrest has a theory, don't buy it when it's up. Wait until it retraces. Even if near goes to 20, you may be able to get it back at 14 or 15. So, in 2022, one of the most important things is to get things at good entry prices, because it's going to be a trading market probably until August and October. Now, speaking of trading, Mike, what have you done? What do you got out there? What's going on in the secret world of Mike? Talk to me.
Yeah, so I see a couple comments regarding Rose. I'm pretty invested in Rose ecosystem. I'm seeing a lot of development there. They recently launched a EVM compatible smart contract platform, much like Aurora, but for Rose's ecosystem, where developers on Ethereum can start leveraging Rose and the Tendermint consensus that it's developed on, that's underlined in Cosmos. And some projects, a comment mentioned UsuSwap, and it's launching on January 4th. If for those who don't know, UsuSwap is Rose's native DEX that they're going to be launching, and I'm a pretty big fan of it. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Sorry, got a little laggy there.
Yeah, no, it's coming on up. I can't wait for the day when, there's super DEX. I can go to one DEX and trade on 12 chains plus NFTs. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so UsuSwap, this is pretty unique. DEX is coming out on Rose. Majority of the transaction fees are going to go back to repurchasing the actual token. It has very unique tokenomics, unlike usual DEXs. The tokenomics in itself is very decentralized. 70% of it is going to be able to be liquidity mined essentially, and the backing behind it, Oasis itself, NGC, Signum Capital. So one project we're looking out for within that ecosystem, and another one that's developing and also has a token sale right now is Aletheia, and this is an AI NFT project that's trying to bring almost artificial intelligence into NFTs to create a universe for NFTs where you can activate your Bored Ape Yacht Club or your CryptoPunk and have it become more personable with you. So that's pretty unique, and this is developing on Rose as well. Token sales on Copper right now for this one, and some other things we're looking at currently. Cyberconnect, this coin has a potential IDO here in January 2022. This is a Web3 social graph that's essentially, disentangling, corporate ties on our data. Corporations have a lot of ties on what we see and what we're actually broadcasted on our phone. And what this protocol is doing is, disentangling that control by essentially allowing users to create their own social graph. So, instead of having Facebook recommend something for you, you can create that connection for future recommendations on your Web3 experience. So that's pretty unique. The backers behind this one, very top tier as well. We can check out here. Sorry, a little bit
No,
laggy.
it's okay. So just out of curiosity, before you get to the backers, is that something where they would actually pay you for your data that you use, or it just allows you to set what data you can share, or is it none of the above?
Exactly. It's both of those. So this is a company protocol that's connecting, the backend infrastructure for companies to, develop the Web3 infrastructure and connections in a decentralized fashion. And it's for the user. A user can, deploy connections to websites and disconnect connections. So, they're not always tracking your data and, mining your data for their own benefits. This is what it's doing. Another really unique thing that they're doing as well is, a lot of us have public addresses. We're very deep into DeFi. And one unique thing they're doing is you can send messages directly to addresses. So me and Mehdi, we know each other's addresses. I can send them messages with no third party getting our information. So that's really unique. And this is a protocol that's doing an IDO beginning of next year. So keep an eye out for it. Definitely a cool one. And next one I wanted to shed some light on. This is doing another IDO here soon as well. It's Hashflow, and this is essentially disconnecting centralized exchange and their control over our trades by connecting, the biggest whales who have, the liquidity to execute trades, but in a more decentralized manner and a cheaper manner. So they're trying to essentially undercut Uniswap and SushiSwap by, half of their cost. So, you expect 50 to 60% less fees with Hashflow than you would, traditionally expect with Uniswap or, SushiSwap. So this very unique protocol that's launching their token Hashflow here soon. You check out the backers, Galaxy Digital. We all know who that is, and they're backing it as well. So another unique protocol. I just wanted to shed some light on for you guys. And if you're interested in these IDOs, definitely do your own research and learn more about them. And if you like it, go ahead and invest. Not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that Token Metrics and that Mike does is he finds his stuff before it hits the tape, right? And then we can give you hints once it does. So think about what he told you, right? Imagine talking to each other, sharing data, communicating without Silicon Valley. You want to fix the wealth distribution problem? You want to fix inequality? Oh, how about this? How about we just use crypto to cut out Silicon Valley? And then, Novogratz over at Galaxy Digital wants gaming, trading, right? He wants the most efficient, low-cost trading possible, right? In other words, Schwab eventually went to zero commissions in equities, right? Eventually, in trading, in DEXs, you'll be able to go low cost everywhere. And these things, this is what I'm talking about small cap. So do your own research. Don't hate on us if it doesn't work out. But this may be the time to start paying attention to the IDOs that come out. So not metaverse with no website. No, bad. Actually, I think big cap metaverse. See yesterday's video for that. So, Mike, did you do Rose Network? Did you do Illuvium? Did you get involved at all in some of the stuff that you reviewed?
Here, let me go ahead and share my screen here. One project we reviewed early on, and I got involved in, not too much, unfortunately. Dusk Network scored 78%. you could see here when we first reviewed it, first caught our eyes at 16 cents. So, it's done a 10x approximately from this price point here. So this was one project that, scored well within our system, and one that I personally regret not investing more in. And its narrative has been playing out, and it seems like it's, become more and more correlated within, Near's ecosystem as well. I see it moving up alongside Near and Tri-Solaris as well. So that's interesting.
So interesting point here about token metrics. Remember what I said before? Education is not a shill. So how powerful is it if Mike finds it and Mike likes it, like the cereal commercial from my generation, and then it starts to move and our AI picks it up? So if you got Mike's report and then it pops up on AI, right? In other words, what you want to have in investing and trading is you don't need a crystal ball, all right? What you need is good research and conviction. And how do you get conviction? Well, you'll get more than one source. Like in technical analysis, you want to have not just a good candlestick, but you want to have a good candlestick on top of, say, a good support point, like a moving average. And if you can add a third thing, like a good stochastics formation, all right, or something from our trend finder indicator, the more things you can put together, the better conviction you can have if you've done your research, right? So doing your own research, you may be sitting out there going, God, will this guy shut up about that? How do I do my own research? Well, you can just say, all right, Tokenmetrics said this from the humans, and Tokenmetrics said this from the AI, and there's a chart indicator that I like, and you're smarter than you think. And even if you can't get all the good Tokenmetrics stuff, you want to hit like and subscribe. Somebody said there was like 300 viewers and 100 likes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to two of the smartest people in crypto. People, hit the button. If you're watching the recording, hit the button. All right. Mike, the Knicks, the Spurs, those are my two favorite basketball teams, and the Lakers are all at 500. I mean, I really like basketball, but it's really getting hard to look at. Are you feeling me on that one, or you got confidence LeBron's going to bring it back?
I hope so, man. I mean, the last night's game was a bummer, to be honest. They had the lead and they lost it, so that was unfortunate.
Like turning off the Spurs and watching Mehdi's Layer Zero, making money with Layer Zero video on our YouTube channel, which 13,000 people checked out last I saw it. So, and if you've got, wait a minute, I forgot to mention Tokenmetrics TV. You're like, hey, wait a minute. These guys do a whole bunch of cool stuff. How do I find it all on YouTube? Well, we'd love to have you on our YouTube page, but customers get access to something that looks like Netflix and Hulu. So if you want to watch Mehdi on the 100X show, boom, there it is. Like literally like Netflix and Hulu, right? Mike does hidden gems. So it's real easy as a content aggregator. And coming soon in 2022 is Tokenmetrics TV on mobile. You ever try to find a whole bunch of videos on YouTube? You're like, that video, where was that 2 weeks ago? Mobile and iPad. Tokenmetrics TV. So, Mehdi, how do you like being a TV show host? How do you guys like it? You like the conversation model? You feeling the love out there from the audience? Tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm indifferent to both the models, but I think this model kind of feels more conversational, as people can ask questions and I can answer them. And that kind of feels more natural, and I hope people enjoy it. If people are enjoying this kind of a format, please let us know. And the best way you can let us know is by smashing that like button and also retweeting our tweets so we can get some of the guests on board.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to leave comments both in the live stream and on the YouTube. Because, I know we did the little Lakers, Knicks, Spurs digression, but I think it's important for you to know who the people are you talk to in crypto, right? Like you see BitBoy wearing his like Atlanta Braves and Georgia gear. Well, you know what? We got the same type of personality, the same type of things that we like are the things that you like. I saw somebody commenting on his pain as a Montreal Canadiens fan. And if there's anybody out there in Asia, right? Mehdi is out there, right? I believe you could maybe call it, sort of like somewhere India, Pakistan, in that region. You know what? If you got friends in that region, or if you're in that region, make sure you tell them about Mehdi, right? Make sure you tell them. Because I'm telling you right now, folks, when it comes to things like valuation, when it comes to figuring out what's, good, both from a market point of view and like from a valuation standpoint, like both of these guys are doing the work of 20 people. Like, I'm a big fan of Galaxy Digital. They did some research. Okay, yeah, it was good research. They chronicled all the different layer ones, right? But did they explain it to you on YouTube in a way that you could understand it? Like, Mike, I remember. Do you remember Illuvium? Was that something that you did, that you saw?
Yeah, I think we picked it up around $100 each.
Right. Play to earn Ethereum, as if I remember it correctly. Okay. Yeah. So somebody's asking, how do we follow them? Mehdi's got his Twitter up there. Mike, what's your Twitter? Do you have Twitter?
Yeah, I do. Should be up there as well. I'll drop a link of it in the chat for you guys.
All right.
So, again.
Yeah. I mean, and stay tuned for future streams. So when Mike does put his Twitter up there in the description for his name, that you can follow him. And I'll try to get his Twitter on my Twitter so you can see it. But again, who are you listening to in 2022? Who's got the crystal ball? Nobody. Who's got the research on Illuvium, Near, Cosmos, Polkadot, Moon River? Okay, I was told that Altcoin Quarterly is coming out, and it's actually going to be released, okay, to a wide spectrum, right? Customers and people who sign up on tokenmetrics.com with their email address. So if you want to know some of the things that we like, we've already talked about a couple of coins. Mehdi, refresh my memory. There was Moon River we talked about, and was it Efinity with an E?
Yep. Efinity was there. So some people over here are basically Saiful Sayed just asked about Efinity. Please share your thoughts on Efinity. So Efinity, and if you download the quarterly review, which you'll get in a couple of days, you will have an in-depth report on all the different altcoins we like. And so we're not just chilling them, right? We do the tokenomics. We look at the token allocation, token utility, and then basically allow you to kind of make your mind. And we also do valuation. So you can basically be the judge. So the way I've done the valuation in that report is I give you the sector average, and then I'll tell you, okay, Efinity is trading below and how much excess it can do if it kind of catches up to the sector. So in this way, you kind of can make your mind up. Moon River is another project I like. I really like Moon River. For me, it's more from a perspective of portfolio allocation. So those people who do not have allocation towards Polkadot and are a bit skeptical about Polkadot, but also kind of want exposure to Polkadot and are very bullish on Ethereum. I'm also a big Ethereum fan. So I was like, what is that one project that can give me exposure to both Ethereum and Polkadot? And for me, that was Moon River. And another amazing thing about Moon River was the allocation was there were no VCs involved. So I didn't have this headache that, let's say, if I have this coin in my portfolio, I have to worry about a big dump. So I think at current price, it is at good valuation. It is enticing. I sold some at 400, then I bought back at 200, and now I'm thinking about accumulating more at this price point. So from that perspective, it's another coin I like. Obviously, we also have a couple of other there. One is Remark. I had this founder on my podcast, 100x Show. If you look at the podcast, you'll know this is the project. If it delivers, it is definitely 10 to 15x kind of a project. They're doing some crazy things with regards to NFTs, with regards to metaverse. Do check out the 100x Show episode. And try to learn more about the project. We have also done a deep dive on it. So if you don't have the time to kind of do the watch the 45 minutes video, you can watch the 25 minutes deep dive. Apart from that, we also had some special mention. So those coins that do not have tokens yet, but you can anticipate. One is called A Star. It's similar to Moonriver, but instead of just giving you exposure to Ethereum, it gives you exposure to Binance and Solana and Cosmos. So you have like a multi-chain exposure, and
I
you don't
don't.
have a token yet. Yeah, Shiden and A Star, those two. Shiden is already there. A Star isn't out yet, so it's another coin we like. We also like Unique Network, another Polkadot project. I think it's under the radar project where anybody who's a developer can use their protocol to basically uh, do a white label marketplace. So in the future, if anybody wants to create a marketplace, NFT based marketplace on Polkadot, they can use that. So some people have issues with my pronunciation, so I'm going to repeat it. A Star, Unique Network, Affinity, Moonriver. These are some of the projects that you'll see. There are a few other projects out there as well. Uh, I think from valuation perspective, I'm not a big fan of DeFi as such, but one coin which I think valuation makes sense, especially after seeing what happened to sushi, is Trader Joe. I was correct in kind of predicting that Trader Joe will be listed by Binance. If you saw my video, my colleagues can attest to that as well. But sometimes you might be right about one thing, but the market might not give you the reward. So at the moment, I think market does not like Trader Joe, maybe because of the tokenomics, token utility. I think that's one aspect that is causing the hindrance. But it's another DeFi project that I'm bullish on from a portfolio allocation perspective. So yeah, these are like some of the coins. There are a few other coins out there. If I mention everything, you guys won't read the report. So I'm holding back a couple. Uh, I also had like a primer for you guys, so I'm just going to discuss it briefly. If Bill, if that's okay, if you're not, if you don't have issues with regards to time, I can just tell our audience a little bit about Luna, how it works.
Okay. Yeah. No. Let it rip. Just a couple things. Somebody was stuck in perp and either Audius or Alpha. If you're stuck and you can't move it with gas fees, try staking. Okay. Staking audio and staking perp in particular. If you're stuck and you can get it over to perp, okay, you get decent staking yields on that. So, not investment advice, but if you had to be stuck hodling some coins until gas fees ever come down, perp and Audius, that's not the worst thing to have to hodl. Now, if you've got the rent money in there, you got to make a decision, okay? But if you can afford to hodl and you're trapped, well, just take a deep breath, try and stake it, and do the best you can. I know this gas fee thing is a nightmare. We feel you. All right, Mehdi, give us Luna. Give us what you can on Luna concisely.
All right. So in terms of different layer ones, you have this model where you are basically charged for gas fees, and that's how a lot of these layer one accrue value. So Ethereum, basically, when you do a transaction, some gas fees gets attributed to Ethereum, and then it gets burned out. So that's how layer one kind of get value. Uh, the way Terra ecosystem, the token Luna gets value is very different from other layer ones, and that is one of the reasons why recently we saw basically exponential price increase of Luna. And I'll get back into this for a second. I really like Luna, but I think if there's a recession in the market or if the market basically takes a beating, it's one of those coins because of the way the mechanism is designed that it will take a lot of punishment. So, not financial advice, but I think if it takes a lot of punishment, if it goes down 30%, 40%, 50%, I think for long term, it could be a very, very interesting opportunity for you guys to accumulate. I'll explain why. So, let me just simplify it for you. Terra is an ecosystem. UST is their stable coin, and Luna is basically another coin which is linked to that ecosystem. So, if more projects use UST, which is an algorithmic stable coin, more Luna gets burned. And now the fascinating thing about the stablecoin is, unlike USDT, USDC, those stablecoins are backed by US dollars. So you're basically taking a risk of US dollars. So US dollars, some will say, okay, it's the safest asset, but you are kind of taking a risk because if something happens to US dollar, if Fed increases the interest rate, the ecosystem gets impacted because ecosystem have all of these stable coins in the form of USDT. So what Terra did was basically instead I create a stable coin where my stable coin will not be backed by Fed statement or Fed's authority. It will be backed by the economy. So Terra is the economy which basically backs the UST through Luna. So they created a whole economy. If you guys are not aware, there's a protocol called Mirror where you can buy stocks. So somebody who is not from US, for example, you can buy synthetic stocks. Like let's say, in some countries you cannot invest in US stocks, US tech stock, for example. And it's one of the brilliant ways to get exposure, right? US tech is the future. So some of these people get excluded, including myself. So I remember during 2020 COVID crisis, I wanted to buy some stocks, but during that time, Mirror wasn't there. But now you have Mirror, so you can buy stocks. So once you buy stock, you'll buy stocks through UST. So when you buy stocks through UST, more Luna gets burned. You can also use Anchor protocol. Yeah. Yeah, so in terms of the full detailed overview, I'm going to share the detailed overview tomorrow of Luna. I'll share a small presentation, but I'm just giving you like some tidbits to kind of think about. So in terms of Anchor, Anchor is like a saving protocol where if you save money in Anchor, you earn 20% interest. And I did the maths. Math says that you can earn this interest for next few years, and it's kind of risk free. So even if things collapse, you're still going to get your collateral back, but you might not get, let's say, 20% interest for, let's say, next 30 years. The maths in terms of your collateral kind of works out. Apart from these two innovations, they also have a payment app called Chia, where people can use UST for daily payments, for payments in terms of e-commerce and, let's say, in different shops. And so more people use it off chain, more Luna gets burned. And
Yeah, there's
and now,
also Pylon, right? Pylon protocol.
of course. So
Use.
I'm going to quickly share my screen, and more of this detail will come tomorrow. But I'm just going to share some of the details with you guys regarding what's happening. Like, can you guys see my screen?
No.
1 second. Let me share it again.
All right, I see it now.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, I'm zooming in over here. So you have Mirror, you have this app, you have Anchor. All of the value accrual happens to Luna by burn mechanism. So this is very interesting, very different from other layer ones. And you can also kind of see as the UST market cap increases, right? As more protocol and these projects use the stable coin UST, US Terra, the more Luna price increases. So the Luna price was increasing because as more UST increases, more Luna gets burned. I'm going to discuss that later tomorrow when I'm going to explain this diagram. But I'm just giving you a quick overview to kind of make you appreciate why Luna is good. So usually with algorithmic stablecoin, you have a death mechanism where, let's say, stable coins, let's say there was a stable coin called Titan. Mark Cuban invested in it, it basically failed because of this thing called death spiral. So let's say when demand for UST kind of falls, basically more Luna is minted. As more Luna is minted, people lose confidence in the stable coins, and basically the cycle repeats. But what the smart thing Luna, the Terra ecosystem is doing is that they know that they're growing faster than the US economy, so the demand for UST will always be more than the US dollar. Then you have this Anchor protocol, you have Mirror protocol, then you have MemePay and Chia for everyday off-chain payment, and then you also have a whole ecosystem building, which I checked out yesterday on Terra. So they're building their own decentralized financial ecosystem, and you can see it over here. So the more stable coins are used, more Luna gets burned, and the price basically keeps on increasing, which is amazing. So gaming, NFTs, and metaverse is also coming along. I basically aped in one of the NFTs yesterday just to kind of check out, just to kind of learn, and their future catalyst coming up as well. So basically, at the moment, Cosmos doesn't have its native stablecoin, and UST can become the native stablecoin of Cosmos. And if that happens, basically more Luna gets burned, and then basically Olympus DAO and Abracadabra, all of these mining pools will also have UST pools as well, which will basically means more Luna gets burned out. So in the long run, I've kind of explained it to you guys of how uh, Terra Luna works, the whole ecosystem works. So because of the way the architecture is designed, if the market basically dumps, it's going to take 40-50% hit. And once that does that, I want you guys to kind of accumulate, not financial advice. It's something which I would do personally, and I will have like a alternative to different layer ones. I basically am a big fan of layer ones, and I want to get as many as possible, but ideally those layer ones that work. And when you kind of see all of these things from a first principle basis, it's amazing, and this works, and market is kind of showing you that it works.
All right. Thank you, Mehdi. So on Luna, tactically, right, 21-day moving average is about 75. So if people take profits early next year, that could be a dip. Just keep in mind, sometimes people sell their winners early in the year. Now, if there's kind of a bigger mess in the first quarter and there's a decline, Mehdi was talking about the 50s for Luna. Again, it's important to consider Luna now, but it's more important to listen to Mehdi today and tomorrow at 1 Eastern, when we'll be joined by Ian Bellina and our quant chief, right, where we can discuss how if there's a big correction in the market, Luna and Near are at the top of the list. Top of the list for if they get destroyed. Because here's the catch about crypto, folks. Like the two gentlemen I'm with here, they know a lot more about how cryptos work, right? The blockchains and the tokenomics than I do. Okay. But, I rely on them because they can break it down succinctly. And all I have to know is what they're interested in. And then I can turn around and chart it. Because here's the thing, folks. Everybody understands Uniswap now, right? Nobody understood Uniswap in late 2019, early 2020 when it came out. Everyone was like, what? Like decentralized exchange? How does that work? No one understood just basic, vaults, getting yield, depositing crypto, getting interest. No one understood that. Now that stuff's common knowledge, but you got paid to know the tech early. So when you listen to Michael and Mehdi, you're getting lessons on the tech, because the day that everybody wakes up and understands the tech behind it, that's when you get the moonshot. Now that's either early first quarter or, like Mehdi said, wait till it gets hammered and then say late summer, fall of next year is when you want to be long, I think, for a possible mega moonshot. Not investment advice, not crystal ball, fingers crossed. Okay, gentlemen, happy New Year to you. Thank you out there for everybody who listens and watches. We appreciate your business. We appreciate you whether you hit the like button or you don't. We would prefer that you do. Subscribe to your channel. Subscribe to our channel, rather. And tell your friends. Tell your friends in Texas. Tell your friends who are Laker fans. Tell your friends who live in far-off lands. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's stream. Okay, I'm your host, Bill Noble, telling you that crypto is king.